Why is it always when you talk about how hot someone is that they're standing right behind you? If I thought it was just a trope in movies and media, and then it happened to me as a freshman. Damn it!
If you thought crazy stuff only happened to me when my family was around, you'd be sorely mistaken. I've always been a magnet for crazy, especially during the school years.
Alright, first things first, before I get into the stories today, you're probably going to see it as I shift at some point. Yes, I am wearing a cape. Hold on. Come on. Fly, cape, fly! You're not flying. You're not doing the fly thing. Almost, come on. Yeah, close enough. Also, this turtle's outfit, the cape, it's like a children's extra large. As you can see, it doesn't fit. Really, but my sister gave it to me, and I can be your hero, baby. I can take away your pain. Oh. Now that that's out of the way, let's get on to the real stories here. All right. When I was a junior, this girl, I think she was a freshman when I was a junior. I'm not sure. She was definitely a lower classman. She was new to school. She had the hugest crush on me, but she manifested it in really weird ways. Remember, like, way back when I said my mom laughs at everything my neighbor says? Literally everything. It doesn't matter. He'd be like, hello. My mom would be like, hee 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 hee. Well, I had this freshman girl. She followed me around everywhere, and she laughed literally everything I said. And I didn't make the connection because, well, first of all, I'm Demi, and also I don't think about stuff like that. Unless it's very pertinent to me, I'm not going to think about, like, your sexual orientation, if you're into me or not, if I'm into you. Like, I don't think about those things unless it's like very pertinent to me at this very second. It's just not the things I care about. Like, now, like, that's not weird, but it was not brought to my attention that she probably liked me until I brought her to the suite one day, and my suite mates were like, dude, she laughs at everything you say. She really likes you. And I was like, what? Now, it wasn't like that was the only indicator and I just didn't catch it. No, she'd been doing weird stuff for quite a while. Like, I would get texts while I was walking to class that were like, hey, I'm watching you. What class you going to? Maybe I'll meet you there. And I'll be like, fuck. But yeah, like, she definitely liked me, and I didn't get, because I wasn't thinking about it. And then after that stuff started happening a lot, there was one time, pulled me aside, she was like, what do you think? No, let me back up. So there was weird, creepy text laughing at everything. And then one night she was like, I had a wet dream about you. And I was like, ooh, this is going to be good. You better tell me all about it. Because someone has a wet dream about me? Like, I don't want to, why wouldn't I want to hear about that? That sounds awesome. So one day we're talking and she's like, hey, do you ever think you could date me? And now, okay, you may think I'm a terrible person, but I didn't think this was too bad. I was just giving her a hypothetical situation. All right, so this particular girl is definitely allergic to pretty much everything. Like, she has one of those bracelets, but I'm pretty sure it's in like 1-point font because it's got like 8 billion things on it that she's allergic to. It's got like literally like 8 billion things that she's allergic to, right? And one of the things that she is very much deathly allergic to is peanut butter. Now, I'm a dog, as you know. I like me some peanut butter. I'll sit there, especially in college, where it was a thing, where me and the Laundry King would sit on the couch shirtless when we had nothing else to do, and we just eat out of a jar of peanut butter. No, we didn't share out of the same jar. We're not that gross. No, we each had our own jar of peanut butter, and we would just like dip our fingers in and you're a poor college student, you do some things, okay? You do some things. Also, peanut butter is fucking delicious, but none of that chunky shit. Chunky is like chewing on dog poop. Like, no. So, we both had a jar of peanut butter. We would just sit on the couch all day. Oh. And I said, in a hypothetical situation, that we could never date because One day, I would be sitting on the couch shirtless, and I'd be like, oh, blah, blah. And she'd come home, and I'd be like, hey, honey, what's up? And I'd get up, and I'd kiss her, and then dead. And I didn't want that kind of shit on my conscience, because I'm pretty forgetful sometimes. And, like, I don't want to be like, oh, I'm peanut butter, blah, 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 and then be like, I love you, baby, and then dead. I don't want that. That's bad. I don't want to have to deal with that shit. Like, no. And we just kind of drifted apart. She didn't talk to me for a while. And I did not know this, but I found out later that motherfucking phone. Now, I didn't know this, but the reason that we drifted apart and she stopped talking to me was actually because that hypothetical story ruined her life. She thought for the next year and a half that no guy would love her more than peanut butter. That is not what I said. I just said I like eating peanut butter. Okay? And also, you know, for the next year and a half, she was telling everyone how terrible of a person I was, and how awful I was, and how I was just terrible, and I lead girls on, and what have you. Hey, if you tell me you had a wet dream about me, I'm gonna ask you about it. Alright, one question I have as well is, why is premature rejection a thing? Hi. When I was a junior, I'm gonna guess the second half of the year, the second semester, this upperclassman, she was a Chinese girl. Like, even though I didn't want to bone all my grandkids, like, there were some kids that I spent a lot of time with that I just would have a son. She's a super pretty girl. She's an upperclassman. We used to hang out all the time. And one time she was like, hey, you want to come on a field trip with me? And I was like, did I just get asked out on a date? Like, what? So I volunteer for this field trip and we go. And really, she just wanted me to help her write her papers, which is, I mean, pretty much exactly what I would have been doing anyway. So it really wasn't a date at all, what have you. But we hung out all the time. And after a while, I was like, hey, I like you. And she gave me the, I would love to date someone exactly like you, just a little older. And like, that's totally fine. I get that. Okay. I mean, it's upsetting to hear that, like, I want to date you, but older, because it's something you can't do. But I understand. Okay, I get it. Like, it's fine. All right, cool. But we would hang out and she would just bring it up all the time, like over nothing. She would be like, hey, I want to date someone just like you, but not you. You know I don't like you, right? Like, we'd be talking about nothing. I'd be like, what do you want for breakfast? Because we go to the dining hall. What do you want for breakfast? And she'd turn to me and be like, I don't want to date you. And I'm like, the fuck? I asked what you wanted for breakfast. I don't give a shit. Like, once, I got it. I'm good. I get it. Maybe it's a thing they have to deal with, like, I'm sure pretty girls have to deal with this a lot, where guys don't get it. But I got it. After the first time, I got it. Okay? So, we'd just be talking about nothing. You'd be like, you know, I really wish I could have someone just like you, but not you. Okay, I got it. Thank you. That's cool. Now, this would have been, I guess I could have dealt with this better if this girl wasn't also dumb as a bag of rocks. She would ask the dumbest questions and the dumbest favors. Like, she'd call me at like 2 in the morning. And I'd be like, what? And she would have called me to say, hey, can you come to the front of my dorm and take a picture of me and my friend? Like, campus, granted, campus was not that far apart, but I'm not leaving my fucking room at 2 in the morning to walk across campus to take a picture of you in front of your dorm. Like, you don't have any friends right next to you that could do it for you? What the fuck? And just, she would ask dumbest questions, especially on paper. Like, when she was doing a paper, she would write the same stuff over and over again. It made no sense. And you try to correct her, and she just wouldn't get it. And I understand English is not your first language. I get it. But some people ask really stupid questions all the time, and it just grates on you. This girl asked so many stupid questions that one day I turned to her, and I said to her, I'm not even lying. I actually said to her, you are so infuriatingly stupid that I want to find a way to strangle you with a spoon. I can't deal with your stupidity sometimes. And I'm sure the constant premature rejection obviously factored into that somewhat, but it was still just, so dumb. And I can't take. She's the only person in the world that while I've been like mean to her, I was arguing with her and I was implying that she was dumb because she's dumb. And one time she was like, "Hey, stop treating me like I'm stupid." And I actually turned to her and I said, "But you are!" And like, for me to get to that level, as many of you know me, or if you know me personally, like I very rarely get angry in public unless my family is around. And if my family's around, I'm always angry. It doesn't matter. I'm fucking Edward Norton as the Hulk when my family's around because I'm always angry. But if my family's not around, I am a pretty congenial guy. Like I'm convivial. I'm just a happy dude. I'm gruntled. There's a good word. If you didn't know, disgruntled is actually the opposite of gruntled, which is actually a word that apparently nobody uses, but it means the exact opposite of disgruntled. So yeah, I'm usually a very gruntled dude, but sometimes the stupidity just gets to you. It just gets to you and you don't understand how people function. You don't understand. And then, senior year, worst problem ever. So I met this girl, also another Chinese girl, because I spend a lot of time with Chinese kids. So, you know, I usually fall for someone that I spend a lot of time with. Like, that I have to get to know them real well. And this girl was kind of like me. We saw the world kind of the same. She was an art student and what have you. Like, I don't do art, but I get it. So her schedule was weird, because art students have the weirdest fucking schedules. But we hung out a lot. We had a lot of fun. I was like, this is really cool. She's adorable. And we hit it off, like right off the bat. And we like spent all our time together and it was great. And now we're not friends, but I made a really good friend through her, so it's totally okay. I made a really good friend through her. She like me, this one girl that I liked, she like me does not like when people spend money on her and like they do nice things for her. Like, you don't know how to react. Like, I don't know how to function when people do nice things for me. I'm like, because I'm not used to that. I'm used to people being like, "You're fucking stupid and you'll never get anything done in your life." Like, that makes sense to me. But when people are like, "You're really great, you know that? I'm gonna buy you something." And I'm like, "No, please, I don't know how to, I don't know, it makes me all uncomfortable." And this one time, I went to this girl's apartment. She did not have toilet paper. And this friend that I made through her, who's fucking awesome, and I'm so glad I made this friend, that particular friend, she came over too, and she brought a whole bunch of toilet paper. And the girl's like, "No, you don't have to buy me toilet paper. I can buy toilet paper myself. You didn't have to get me anything." And this super awesome friend that I made, she's from Taiwan. She turns to her friend, she turns to the girl that I like, and she goes, No, you misunderstand. This, and she points to the toilet paper, is for me, because I like to pee and poo-poo." And I was like, I literally fell off the couch laughing. It was one of the funniest things I've ever heard in my entire life. It made a lot of sense in the context, but it was also hilarious. I like to pee and poo-poo, and I still make fun of her to this day. Sometimes I'll just message her and be like, "Do you still like to pee and poo-poo?" Now, the girl that I liked, also super clumsy. Like, I hang out with a lot of clumsy people. Like, if you've ever hung out with Belly of Ageria in real life, you know she's super clumsy. But this girl, like, took the cake for clumsy. Like, clumsy level was off the charts. One of the first times I went to her apartment, I walked home with her. And, fucking phone again? Get the fuck out of here! Seriously though, I swear to God, if someone else calls the house, I'm picking up the phone and saying, "Eat a big bag of dicks!" Like, I've had enough of the phone. Like, every time I sit down to film some shit, somebody starts calling the house nonstop. Stop it! Get the fuck out! But anyway, this girl, super clumsy. One of the first times I was walking her back to her apartment, and we're talking, and all of a sudden she stops talking, and I turn my head to look. She's not there anymore. I'm like, where the fuck did she go? I look down the hill we're walking down the hill. She has rolled like 10 feet down the hill in front of me, and as like I see that she's on the floor, and I'm like, what the? She like mid-roll corrects herself and hops up and stands on her feet. Mid-roll, hops up, poop, poop, like nothing happened. I'm like, are you okay? Like, yeah, happens all the time. I'm pretty clumsy. Like, you're telling me. And now, while not cute in this, like, well, not related to clumsy. She also did the most adorable thing in my life that's ever happened in my entire life. Well, not adorable, but probably one of the funniest things ever happened in my entire life. This one time, I was over at her apartment, right? I spent the night at her apartment, but we slept on a couch, and I slept sitting up, and she slept with her head on my lap, and it was the cutest thing. We had gone out and like looked at the stars that night or some shit, and she slept with her head on my lap. And during the night, at one point, like, I'm a really light sleeper. If you don't know this, I can fall asleep in any situation, but if anything changes at all, I like rocket out of bed. I'm like, what? Super light sleeper. So like, if I sleep with my significant other, if they move at all, I'm awake. I'm like, what? So she's asleep, and she started twitching. You know, like how puppies have puppy dreams and they start twitching a little bit? So she starts twitching on my lap. And I wake up, I'm like, what? And I look down. She's asleep. And she does this thing with her body where her head, like, twitches first, and the twitch goes down, like, to her shoulders. Her shoulders twitch. Her arms twitch. Her belly twitches. Her butt twitches a little bit, and then she lets out the cutest fart I've ever heard in my entire... Just... I spent the next hour trying to contain my laughter. I could not sleep. You can't move when someone's sleeping on your lap. That's just mean. I don't know how I held in that laughter. That should have been a raucous, like a party of laughter, a bevy of laughter. That's what it should have been. And I somehow managed to contain myself. And that tells me I have great self-control. So now we're having all these great times. We hang out all the time. It was definitely second semester because for Valentine's Day, this is one of the first time, I think it actually was the first time I ever did something nice for someone, because she was an art student. I wrote and illustrated her a picture book, and I thought this was the best idea ever. Well, when I say illustrated, really what I did was traced a bunch of pictures that I found, because I am shit at art. I have no artistic talent at all. No, none at all. No. So I wrote and illustrated, well, traced her a picture book, really. And the last page I left blank because I wanted us to draw it together. And I thought that was the fucking cutest thing ever. I thought I did real well with this. Real fucking well, I did. I don't know why I turned into Yoda just now. Do I do not? There is no try. So I wrote and illustrated her a picture book for Valentine's Day. And I gave it to her. And she was like, oh. And now the friend that likes to pee pee and poo poo, oh, she's gonna be, I hope she watches this series and she'll be like, really? Really? I'm the friend that likes to pee pee and poo poo? And I'm be like, do you still like to pee pee and poo poo? Good times, good times. But yeah, friend that likes to pee pee and poo poo was like, you know she has a boyfriend, right? And I was like, what? And in addition to the boyfriend, that I'm gonna consider what we were doing, like, if not leading me on, we were definitely dating per se. Like, I even met her mom and stuff. I hung out with her mom. It was fun. Nobody said anything to me. But her friend that likes to pee pee and poo poo was like, you know she has a boyfriend, right? What? And in addition to me, there was another guy that she was dating who I'm assuming she was priming both of us to take the place of her boyfriend when she dumped him. But yeah. So I'm like, what the fuck? And I try and talk to her, and like, she's avoiding the crap out of me. So I'm like, I gotta figure out what's going on. So I walk down to her apartment, which is apparently not what you're supposed to do. If you're ever in a situation wherein the person that you like has a boyfriend and you didn't know until now, apparently the correct procedure is not to go confront them about it. Because she was not a happy camper that I would walk all the way to her apartment and be like, yo, what's up? Because apparently, no, I don't know. I thought if there was a problem, you should deal with it. But through my adventures in dating, I've learned if there's a problem, you're apparently supposed to ignore it until it tears you apart. Like it. I have terrible luck with the ladies. Let me tell you. So she was super mad. She barely talked. She cried a little, but I think it was more crocodile tears than actual tears. I don't know. Maybe. But one of the things was like right after that point, I got really sick. When I was dying in high school, it was this time. And I remember I had gone to, it was right after the tsunami hit and everything in Japan, and we were doing relief efforts and what have you. I was coordinating with all the Americans because the Japanese kids didn't really believe in anyone that wasn't Japanese would help out and what have you. So I had to like coordinate with all of them. I had to make sure the Americans did what they were supposed to do. I after a couple of years ago, there was a Japanese student at school, and he was there for 2 years, I think. And in between the first year and the second year, he was like, when I come back to school, can you help me move? And I was like, yeah, like just let me know when and I'll be there, man. He's a cool guy. This guy, he's awesome. He's a lot of fun. And when I went, I was like, are you coming back? Let me know when you're coming back. I'll come get you and we'll go get your stuff and it'll be great. And I go and I get him and he's like, man, you're definitely not American. Like you actually do what you say you're gonna do. Like that's not an American thing. And I was so proud in that moment, just out of nowhere, just like, oh, pride. I'm a decent human being. Oh, it felt so good. So, I mean, a lot of Asians don't really think too highly of the Americans, I gotta say. Yeah, we were dealing with that, and I was dealing with stupid Chinese Christian Fellowship, but that's totally stories for another day. I think that's part of an episode later on. It's just gonna be called that onomatopoeia. Yeah, that onomatopoeia. That onomatopoeia is just going to be the title of an episode, and it's going to be everything that fucking pissed me off about college, but that's a couple episodes down the road. We're going to stay in upset town about relationships right now, just not leaving the city limits. So, we were going through that, and I was sitting at a table helping someone with something. And they wouldn't let me leave, so I was already pissed. I'm already dying. My eyeball, my eyes were completely red for like 2 weeks because, number one, I couldn't sleep. Number two, I was totally dehydrated because of the night sweats and the constant fever. I've been coughing up blood forever. And I had actually gotten up from a table to go to the bathroom to cough up blood because the person I was sitting at the table with was like, no, you can't leave. You gotta help me do this. And I was like, the fuck, man? So I got up, actually, the fuck, woman? So I got up, went to the bathroom, coughed blood into the sink, and when I came out, the girl I liked walked by. You know, the one with the boyfriend. Actually, I think at this point, she had actually dumped her boyfriend and gone with the second guy that she was priming to be her boyfriend besides me. Which, I mean, alright, cool. So I was like, hey, what's up? And I just come out of the bathroom. I'm pretty sure I had brought a paper towel with me as I came out just to wipe up any blood that was still on my mouth that I coughed into the sink, which is probably very, very unsanitary, and I apologize if I got anyone else sick by coughing up blood into the sink in public areas, but whatever. Sue me. Don't sue me. I have no money. You can't. I mean, you can sue me. You can't get anything. Come out of the bathroom, and girl I liked is right there as I come out of the bathroom, and I'm like, hey. And she gives me like the dirtiest, most malicious look I've ever received in my life. Like, it's a very common thing with Chinese girls to give you death glares, where they basically shoot, gens out of their eyes. Maybe dows. Dows is probably a better idea. They shoot dows out of their eyes, and it just cuts you up inside, and you're like, oh, the pain! If there's anyone who can give a death glare in this world, it's definitely Chinese girls. I've seen a lot of it in my life. It's death glare, and I'm just like, bitch, I don't need your shit today. I just coughed blood into a sink. Do you think I fucking care about your shit right now? And I have to say, if you're ever down, like sad about life, play the Digimon World games. Because when you put your Digimon on a farm, unlike Pokemon, Digimon can speak human languages. So when you put your Digimon on a farm, they occasionally talk to you and tell you how wonderful you are and how happy they are that even though like this is their time in life, they got to coexist with you at the same time because you're such a good friend. And I don't know what I would have done if I didn't have Digimon World Dusk at that point in my life. Like, I was so low, both physically and mentally, at that point in my life, that like Digimon World Dusk was my saving grace because my Digimon, they were the real homies. Yeah.
Hey there, guys and gals. I hope you're enjoying Season 2 of On Fairy Tales, The School Years. As always, you can click the link on the left to see the previous episode, or you can click the link on the right to see the playlist where you can see all the episodes so far. You hungry? You guys want to hear about my living quarters? The pie suite?
Fuck you, son. Fuck you, son.